Welcome back to Dragoon X Omega 2. We have one more dungeon to explore before we head out to the final area, and of course taking a look at some of the optional dungeon areas of this game as well. Last time we went to the armory and picked up the EMP. Now there was a time jump in that video where after I picked up the nanite in the armory, I went and class changed. This video footage was recorded before I found the nanite was there, and in the video where you see the game completed, you'll see it actually completed pre-class change, so Sargon does not have the nanobots activated. So if you want to hear more about that, that is in the last video called The Armory. This one, we are heading to the Undead Catacombs. The Undead Catacombs are the home of the source of power to bring us to power up the teleporter and bring us to where we're going to do the final dungeon. So there is a console right there that has to be activated. You see I picked up another Opta there. There's another Opta in this chest up here. So you have to watch carefully for that console because it's activates a bridge forming, I shouldn't say. A bridge forms in the landform out here through this. So we are not in the catacombs right now. This is just a tunnel or a sewer. And so it's kind of tricky. You do have to examine that console. You have to watch for sprites on this screen. One of the things in this game that is, or can be a little bit tricky is sprites like that, or looking for things like that. They can be kind of difficult if you're not sure that they're there. You need to watch carefully, and you need to inspect a lot of things. So that's something that the designer of this game clearly wanted the player to explore a lot more, and by putting things in hard-to-find places or not easily obvious places like that, they encourage you to explore. Of course, that is the only console right there. The bridge that you can see on the screen is not there if you do not find and activate that console. So the catacombs are the home of those lost in the Great War. Their bodies have been reanimated by this power source. This power source is what gets us to the teleporter here in a little bit. So we're going to get a little bit of lore from the robots. They're protecting the bodies of those who died in the Great War that took place with the old Dragoon X Omega game. The Ark is where we're going to be teleporting to as we go to the end of this game. And I'm going to be fleeing from all these battles. So the living dead will rend intruders to shreds, and I think there is even an enemy down there called the Render. So the power source for the teleporter, if we tried to go to the ice lab right now and use the EMP, I went down there and explored it. We can go to the teleporter area, but we can't activate it. We can't do anything with it. So the EMP and the source are two key items that you need to get to the final dungeon. So instead of just needing one key item to get into the Temple of Fiends Revisited, in this one we need two items, the EMP and then the source. These are the renders, so these are some of the undead down here that will rend the flesh of the living. That's a nice little reference that they put in, a little an in-text reference there, examining the skeleton there. And then this tunnel brings us finally to the actual catacombs here, which we're going to enter right after we save the game here. So the EMP disrupts a laser shield in the ice lab. Now we are entering the catacombs themselves, and we'll be looking for those renders maybe in the actual catacombs here. We did see them in the tunnel leading down to the catacombs. So lots of good sprite work here. You can see lots of bones on the ground. You see some rooms that are inaccessible, but of course also full of bones. Presumably those are crypts, individual crypt areas. We have kind of a big wide open area down here, and these are areas in Final Fantasy I that are some of the most difficult in the game. Thinking about the lower levels of the Marsh Cave in FF1, this kind of reminds me of that, where it's a large square room with a not always obvious path through. And here are some more of those undead enemies. By the way, I have been talking about in the series of videos looking for a comprehensive algorithms document. There is one in this game. I found out from Silver X, who's been very generously commenting. Silver X, one of the programmers of this game, of this patch, I should say, has been kindly commenting in the bottom of the last few videos. I'll try to keep those comments pinned up near the top so you can find them. the commentary by the creator has been very valuable, including giving us a link to their some comprehensive documents. So if you want to, you can look at enemy data, spell data. You can finally see what all those things do and how they work. I played through this game rather blind and did some trial and error on that because I wasn't able to find those as I was doing a lot of the recording and commentating on the earlier videos of this series. And that's just one of the fun things about doing what I do on this channel and playing these ROM hacks of really, really lovingly created games that are total conversions or improvement or hard patches on games that are put together over long periods of time with countless hours of work for sometimes not a lot of reward. So it is nice to acknowledge the people who are working hard to create things like this. Even something that's a few years now since its final release, and this is the final release I'm playing. There are some special qualities that some weapons and armor have that I did not look at very closely because I didn't have access to the guide as I was making this recording. So I may be dropping some valuable pieces here. I'll have to try to be good about looking for that. I'll pull that up and we can look at some of these things. So that was the spline armor. The spline armor is just a high defense, pretty good evade % armor. The Myra armor halves damage from size, and also you can use it to cast Agnost when used as an item in battle, so it's actually extremely valuable, the Myra armor. Agnost puts you into a status where you are blocking psi damage, so by wearing it and by using it to cast Agnost in battle, you can really protect yourself from a lot of those enemies. So the Myra armor, extremely valuable. So that's something that you definitely want to hold on to, even though as I looked at it, I wasn't able to have that. Gamma armor halves psi damage and makes you resistant to all of these status. I assume that's like the ribbon because it has a small evade % but a huge defense. So that must be really, really nice armor. So here I'm looking at the weapons I have, the Grav, the Vulcan, the Railgun. I do not currently have the Pulse Rifle. The Pulse Rifle hurts all cyborgs when used as an item in battle, and then massive damage to cyborg-type enemies in attacks. So if you are planning on doing the side dungeons, you want to hold on to that Pulse Rifle so you can damage cyborg-type enemies. Again, something that I should have been looking for. So we do have the source here, and the source is what was animating all of the corpses down here. And that brings us to Carrion, the boss of this undead area. So Carrion is the final boss of this area, protecting the source. So Carrion is going to be doing a lot of damage to us. We're going to be trying to plinkin back using the railgun, which has good damage but low accuracy. The Omega rifle gives us actually a really nice hit % bonus that gets 3 hits per attack. The other ones, the Pulse rifle and everything else on down, does not give us that same bonus. So you never actually quite get to 2 hits without anything but the what looks like that final gun. So Sargon and Carrion exchanging damage here, and we're plinking it down. Cast Rapid on itself. I assume that's like the fast, so it's going to be getting 2 hits now, I believe. And the railgun's going to keep going, although it continues to use psi attacks, which is good. Keeps using Crash. 45 damage for Explosion is good. We have plenty of pills to heal us up, so whenever I get down below about 300, so there is 2 hits for 90 damage right there. I'm going to use the pill. And Auriga is a cure spell. It's a healing spell. So I don't have in the algorithms guide in front of me. I don't have Auriga as a healing. Oh, I do have it. Sorry, it is 50 to 200 healing. So Auriga is 50 to 200 healing. We do see things like Blast and Bore and Crash. So they do have the ranges on there. So the document is is comprehensive. It does have all of that. So I wish I had access to this as I was playing it. Probably will have me play it again. I think it's inspired me to play through this game another time. Probably not right away, but another day. I'll play through this game again with the knowledge that I have here. Sometime when I have a little bit more contiguous time to dedicate to it, not bursts of time followed by long periods of inactivity, which is usually my MO. So there's Auriga again. We're going to see Auriga a lot in the final boss, and it heals anywhere from 50 to 200. So it has an E range of 50, and so like a lot of spells in FF1, it does a random value from 50 to 100, and then if it hits, that can be doubled. So that's why it's 50 to 200. So most of the time it's going to be 50 to 100, but that can be doubled to up to 200. And I'll look up Carrion stats here while I'm here in the bestiary. We'll take a look at the bosses. Carrion. Let's check him out. Carrion with 2,000 hit points. Wow. Hello, Carrion. So 2,000 hit points to blast out at him, and he has plus 12 defense. So nice stats there for Carrion. He's going to take a little while to wear down at 2,000 hit points. With our damage, even with the railgun, and without Sargon's upgraded form, to have access to the higher level size and everything, which you can see those in the last video as well. So we do take Carrion down. It was only a matter of time with the number of healing items we have. And we picked up the source. So now we have the EMP and the source. We have access to the final area of the game now. So we can feel unimaginable power emanating from the source. So goodbye. Here we go. We're going to warp on out. Next time we are going to be looking at the final dungeon, and then after that I'd like to explore the optional bonus dungeons of this game if I can find those, and use those algorithms guides to guide myself through it. So if you like this, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. Leave a comment if you care to. I love to hear what you're thinking about this patch and this Let's Play series through it. It's been a lot of fun playing it. It's kind of sad that we're almost at the end, but it's been really fun exploring this beautiful creation, this beautiful work of art that we have here in the ROM patch Dragoon X Omega 2. We will see you next time.